Hey, what's up, YouTube? Brian for the Unbound Series channel, back again. Sorry if I sound a little weird. It is allergy season for me, so unfortunately I cannot breathe through my nose. So you're just gonna have to deal with my nasally sounding voice. And it's very early in the morning, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Alright, so what we're doing is we're reviewing Netflix's new show, The Defenders. So, as you can see, we've got the four core members: Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and the Iron Fist. Alright, so, my opinion, hold on. Quick warning, spoilers may be ahead, so you've been warned. Uh, Most of this is unconfirmed, but for the potential that spoilers could happen, yeah, here you go. You've been warned. Let's get started with Daredevil. Daredevil is the unofficial leader of these guys, at least for this first iteration of the Defenders. He also seems to be the voice of reason for the character. He's, I feel like he is one of the characters that has the most development throughout the story. Because he's the only one who's actually proven that he's willing to die for the city. Whereas the other defenders have not quite proven that they're willing to do that. But the acting is amazing for this show. I've been impressed overall. I have nothing bad really to say about it. Daredevil is definitely a prominent character in the entire series here. Alright, now we're going to look at Jessica Jones. With her character, what do I say about Jessica Jones? Our villains seem to know a lot about Jessica and how what she suffered through her series, which, if you ask me, out of the four series, Jessica had the most terrifying villain, which is the Purple Man. The Purple Man has the ability to, whatever he says, if you're within earshot, you have to do it. It's the way it's a kind of a mental manipulation type power. So you can imagine the hell that Jessica Jones has been through, considering she has superhuman strength and flight. And he seems to have an obsession with her. Now, spoiler, he dies in his respective series, but throughout this series, our villains kind of taunt Jessica with the things that he did to her. So it's almost like his ghost is still following her around. She's also the most reluctant hero. Like, out of the four, all the guys were more willing to team up and fight together, where Jessica seems to be the most reserved and held back, at least at the beginning. Alright, then we got Luke Cage. Luke Cage, in this series, he is fresh out of prison. And the best thing about this character that I find amusing in the entire series is how he is treated by the police officers in the story that are not on his side necessarily. I guess it's a police chief who keeps acting like he could toss Cage in a jail cell anytime he wanted, which is a hilarious joke because when you think about it, Luke Cage could just walk right out, like, through the wall. Just, yeah, good luck holding me back. Bow! You know what I mean? He doesn't even give it. I mean, who's gonna stop him? He's physically the most powerful character in this entire group of heroes. I mean, the Iron Fist is the only one who seems to stand a chance. Like, if this guy was to go unhinged, I don't think any of the other three could stop him, ultimately. Alright, then we got Misty Knight, which, spoiler, she does finally lose an arm. So I think we're getting a lot closer to robot-armed Misty Knight, which is great because that means that she's going to start her own little superhero-y agency, and which will go right along with Heroes for Hire, which is something that Luke Cage and the Iron Fist work together to create. And very much Misty Knight and Colleen Wing are going to help out with that. Speaking of Colleen, our sword-wielding warrior lady here, this chick is just amazing. And doing a little research, I found out actually she'll be able to manipulate chi as well. So we haven't seen it in this series so far, but that doesn't mean anything. The Defenders was a great series overall, and each character that is a combatant has very much proven their own in their own way. I thoroughly enjoy Colleen Wing's movements, and when she does get to fight, which she doesn't get a lot of screen time in this series, unfortunately. I thought she would play a bigger role than she really did. But who knows? I mean, she's part of the Iron Fist mythos, so if they decide to continue the Iron Fist, or maybe lump the two of them in with Luke Cage and make Heroes for Hire, either way it'll work. We also have the Iron Fist, Danny Rand. Actually, he's kind of the center focus a lot of the Defender series. He is the hero all of our villains are after, because from what I can understand is the substance that our villains use to bring themselves back from the dead can only be unlocked by the Iron Fist. So it's a very interesting dynamic where Danny is the target, and our other heroes feel like they have to protect him because he's the most reckless character out of the group of Defenders. And I do have to say, from what I've seen in the comic books, Danny Rand isn't usually this impulsive. Now, I haven't read too many Iron Fist comics or Heroes for Hire or anything like that. I've only seen a handful of Avengers comics, and he's always seemed like he's kind of he's a very monk-like character. He's not quick to action. He's very much a calculated character, so I'm interested to see if Danny will slowly turn into the Iron Fist we all know from the comic books, who's this very calculated character who's cautionary, which would be a lot closer to, I would think, a way a monk would act. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Alright, Trish. Interesting thing is, surprise, she is the comic book character Hellcat. In the Defender series, she plays next to no role. She's only in like 2 scenes. So I'm hoping that in the future she will join the Defenders as Hellcat, and maybe in the season 2 of Jessica Jones, maybe she'll finally take up the mantle. Each of the heroes seems to be building up their own, minus Daredevil, of course, seems to be building up their own, like, team, if you will. Like, Jessica has Trish, and she has her neighbor. I can't remember his name. I could look it up later, but right now, I don't believe he's an important character at the moment. But they keep teasing all these other characters, so the Defenders roster could very much go from like the 6 or 7 people that it currently has and go up from there. Not to mention they've also teased us with the Punisher and Daredevil, so there is that. And I think that's all I have to comment about today. Should you watch the Defenders? I give it a yeah, you should check it out. It's definitely a good show. The acting is solid. Each actor plays their respective hero very well. The only thing I'm more interested to see, like, I feel like I wanna see whether Jessica Jones and Luke Cage actually end up hitched like they do in the comic books. They're hitched and have a kid, which I think that will be interesting. Daredevil is Daredevil. There's nothing really to add on to the character other than his relationship with Electra Nachos. which I'm not going to spoil anything about on that subject. You have to watch the series to get that going. And I'm interested to see Danny Rand become the Iron Fist we all know and love, costume and all. We have yet to see the costume. The only thing we've seen is the dragon symbol on his chest, but I want to see the green costume that he normally wears. I know in this picture he's wearing the white one, but he primarily usually wears yellow and green, so I'm interested to see him wear the mask and the yellow. Because I think the mask is still sellable, even if they have to go a little closer to like the Daredevil mask. Either one would work if you ask me. Alright, so that's been my final thoughts on The Defenders. You should definitely check it out if you have a Netflix subscription. If you don't have a Netflix subscription, you should get one, at least to watch all of these original series. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and The Defenders. Check them all out. There's a plethora of characters in all the series that are very interesting. You're bound to find something you like. And that's it for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.